it's Tanya Games here. Welcome back to this channel. We are back in Dreamlight Valley for our weekly Discord Dreamsnap review video. I'm very excited to get into this. It's going to be so much fun. I'm looking forward to going over everyone's submissions for this challenge. The first half of the video, or not first half of the video, the first video that we did that hopefully you've watched before this one. If not, make sure to check it out. Had some absolutely incredible snaps, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what this video has to offer when we look over the other half of the snaps in Discord. Make sure to join the Discord if you want to share your submission, and give this video a like if you enjoy any of these dream snaps. Anyway, let's jump over to Discord and take a look. So we're going to start off with a submission here from Steph Scarf. And I did see your comment that you're not liking this theme, but I think this is perfect. This is brilliant. We have Donald cordoned off, trapped on his boat, and you've pranked him with dozens of fish and a bunch of bananas ready for him to trip up on, which I think is absolutely hilarious. We've got Stitch here looking happy. You can tell he's kind of laughing his head off at the situation. Donald is obviously very angry to see that his boat has been fished. Is that what you would say? Like, you know how someone throws eggs at someone's house and it's like they get egged? Like, is fish the correct term for this? But it's hilarious to see, and I think this is a very fun prank. And next up we have a submission from Dan here, and it looks like we've got snotty tissues galore in this Monsters Inc. inspired snap. We also have a toilet, which is wonderful to see. Bonus points for the toilets. I'm not biased at all. But this is very funny, very creative. I like the Monsters Inc. theming of this submission, and I think it works perfectly with the challenge. And next up we have a submission from UV Neon Galaxy, who's putting on a magic show for everyone. We are fooling Stitch and Oswald here with our clever little magical tricks, which I think is hilarious. I love how we have like an alien blue invasion here with all the Stitch popcorn buckets, the little alien plushies in the foreground and the background as well, which is funny to see. We've got Stitch here with his coconut cake, and we've got Oswald on this side, and you have a very fun and playful outfit put together. And next up we have a submission from Mike, who's put together this alien invasion style prank on Donald. I think this is fun and creative. Like, instead of using the toilet tissues, I mean, we have got dirty socks, but instead of using the tissues or the toilets or things like that, we are just surrounding Donald with aliens, which is hilarious. It's so funny to see your character here posed with Stitch, like you're peeking on at the chaos that has unfolded. All the aliens surrounding him using the alien plushies that you can get. The Sully kind of like clay toy is hilarious. The Donald signs, and Donald looking mad and angry here is just hilarious. This is such a perfect submission, very creative. And next up we have some submissions from Nolan. We have the first account here where it looks like Donald's been on a treasure hunt, but sadly he has not been rewarded with gold and jewels. No, instead he's been rewarded with socks and snotty tissues, which is just hilarious. I love how your character's posed here with Stitch, and you're in kind of like a matching blue vibe. I think that's really funny. Obviously the creative way you've decorated Skull Rock here is very nice, very aesthetic, and it's funny to see Donald in his pirate outfit looking mad as ever as he finds out that the treasure he's worked hard for is not really treasure. And then we have account 2 where it looks like Donald's boat has been swamped by socks, let's just say. So you've got the confetti cannon here going off. We've got piles and piles of socks. We've got Donald looking mad as ever. and you're hiding in the bushes with Stitch, looking on and laughing at the chaos that is unfolding. Even Jasmine's like, what the heck is going on? She cannot believe her eyes. But it's so funny to see Donald mad and expressive in this way, and such a fun and creative submission. And then we have this hilarious submission here where you're actually going to be pranking Stitch, which I think is hilarious. So we can see here that you've used the Stitch popcorn bucket with the kind of like the pyrotechnic flame behind it. So it looks like Stitch has eaten this cake, and this cake is spicier like than the sun. I don't know. That doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean. This is putting his mouth on fire. You've put every drop of spice possible in this snap, and I just not in this snap, in this cake, and I just think it's hilarious that you've pranked Stitch in this way and creatively used the popcorn bucket and the pyrotechnics to sell this image and get the vibes across. I just think that's funny and hilarious. And yeah, such a creative take on the challenge. And next up we have a submission from One Free Spirit here, and this is hilarious. Donald has been trying to relax, enjoy his time by the beach, and instead you and Stitch have been up to no good and placed all these alarm clocks to keep Donald up, to stop him from relaxing, which I just think is funny and hilarious. It's nice to see the kind of like Oswald clocks being used, and I think this is such a creative way to do it. Really giving across those vibes of waking Donald up, preventing him from napping or enjoying the peace and quiet and serenity. No, instead it's noise and chaos, which I just love. And I love how your character here is stuck, like sort of hiding in the bushes with Stitch. Very, very funny. And next up we have a couple of submissions from Amy. So we have this first one here where it looks like a Halloween themed prank is going on. So we have Vanellope, we got Wally, we got Mike and Sally here in your own character, and it looks like you're all up to no good, perhaps pranking people's houses with eggs. And it looks like Ariel's come along and is not happy to see this chaos unfolding. She is not happy to see the eggs getting thrown, and I'm sure she has some stern words possible. But this is very fun, very creative, and such a fun take on the challenge. It's nice to bring the Halloween vibes in when it's only like spring and stuff, but you know, Halloween is a way of life. It's not just for October. And then we have your next account here, and it looks like this beautiful scenic park has been let's just say taken over by toilets. Perhaps you're even pranking Mother Gothel. Maybe this is meant to represent the willow tree, and you, Stitch, and Vanellope have been up to no good surrounding Mother Gothel's house with toilets, which is just hilarious. I think this is such a fun take on the challenge and a really creative prank. And then we have a submission from Inerda here, and it looks like we have pranked Donald with all the fireworks. I can just imagine that Donald was trying to enjoy a peaceful day, and then you and Stitch have caused chaos, setting off all the fireworks in the neighborhood. And I just think that's absolutely hilarious. Obviously, Donald's expressive pose is just perfect for this challenge. I totally get why everyone is pranking Donald. It makes so much sense. But I think this is such a fun and creative snap. It's really well lit, and definitely gives me prank vibes. And next up we have a submission from Duma here, who is trying to prank Alice, and I think that's hilarious. You have dressed your character up as the Cheshire Cat. You also have the White Rabbit here, and then you have the potion bottle and the kind of like the biscuits, the sweet treats, to convince Alice, who is played by Belle in this case, to perhaps grow or shrink. But I love this. It's fun. It's nice to see the Alice vibes. I'm really excited for the next update. I think it's going to be a very, very fun and enjoyable one. So I really can't wait for that. And it's nice to see something leaning into those Alice vibes already. And next up, we have a submission from Lainey Faye, who has caused bathroom chaos. This is hilarious. All of the bubbles. So you have a mix of the craftable bubbles, the fairy bubbles you can dig up, and the bubbles from the bubble machine. We have this bathtub here, which is obviously overflowing. We have Stitch here. You know, we've got like the potion bottle up here, which I can imagine is like, you know, all the soapy liquid and things like that. Your character is dressed perfectly for this scene, like in the kind of like scuba gear. Like, you are not going to be drowned out by this overflowing bathtub. You were prepped and ready, but I love this. I think it's so creative. I also really love how you've decorated this room. I think it's absolutely stunning. Such a gorgeous little setup. Very elegant looking build, and yeah, I really like it. Very inspiring. Beautiful, beautiful snap. And then we have a submission here from Film Brat, who looks like she's causing chaos for Sully, and Sully is having none of it. Sully looks so mad and angry here. I don't know why I never thought of using like Sully's expressive face. Like, this is so good. This is so genius. I really like this. I think this is fun and playful, very, very creative. And yeah, it's nice to see Sully in place here, kind of looking angry, because I've seen a lot of the like Sully on the ground kind of fell over kind of vibes, which is hilarious. But I haven't seen a lot of the Sully angry, which is a great alternative to the Donald angry kind of look. I just think that's kind of fun. I really like that creative train of thought to actually use Sully instead of Donald. Very, very smart. And next up, we have a submission from Doodles here, who looks like she has ransacked the candy store with Stitch. I was going to say Donald. With Stitch, I mean. Goofy does not look impressed. You have stolen all his candy from the confectionery shop. I love that we got a little Figaro over here. How cute does he look? I mean, I know it's probably like irrelevant, but it's like so cute. It's so cute. We've got the fireworks here and the confetti. I sure hope Goofy doesn't walk into that trap. Perhaps that's what it is. Perhaps the candy trail is to lure Goofy to this confetti firework trap. Maybe that's the prank. I don't know, but it's fun. It's creative. It's hilarious. I think you've done a brilliant, brilliant job with this snap. And it's beautifully lit, by the way. I love the lighting here. I don't know how you've managed to achieve this lighting, but it's very, very gorgeous. I'm assuming the lighting down here is from the Vitalist mine lamps, and I'm pretty sure that's the rock show lighting, but this overall sort of like glow and shadow from your character is really nice. And next up, we have a submission from Pickle Me Elmo, and we are pranking Mickey with Oswald here. So we have surrounded Mickey's house with all of these water buckets and the enchanted brooms, obviously very reminiscent of Fantasia and the Sorcerer's Apprentice, which is just hilarious. We have all the Oswald alarm clocks going off, creating noise and chaos. We have the water fountains creating all the water spillages everywhere. I think this is absolutely hilarious. I love the black and white theming for this snap. Obviously, it makes very sense with It makes sense with a Oswald themed snap. Sorry, I don't know why I can't talk today. Can I talk any day? Probably not. But this is fun, it's creative, and it's very unique of a concept. I love it. And next up, we have a submission from Bertree, who has decided to become the eye in the door. This is quite funny. It's quite simple. We're kind of mocking Mike a bit with the giant eye, obviously taking the piss out of Mike's giant eye. I think this is fun. I think it's creative, a very playful use of this little glitch that I guess you can do. Very, very funny and very creative. And next up we have a submission from Mr. Left Shark, and it looks like Donald is being pranked once more. We have Stitch here setting off the confetti cannon. We have Donald, who is surrounded by dirty, dirty socks. And we have your character here who's filming it all to get it on camera so that you can relive this moment over and over again with Stitch, which I just think is hilarious. I like that you've tried to capture it on camera. I think that's fun and playful and adds an extra layer on top of the snap. Obviously, Donald looking angry is very, very hilarious. And I love the general foliage of this snap. I love that we are seeing snaps that are very fun, playful and creative, but still very aesthetically pretty. It's really nice to see. Uh-oh, Chelsea might be in trouble this week. Chelsea has submitted this snap and it looks like Donald's caught them pranking. This is so funny, Chelsea. I love this. So we have Stitch and Chelsea's avatar pranking Donald, but Donald has spotted them and caught them in the middle of pranking, which is just hilarious. I really like that take. Like, obviously a lot of the takes we are seeing is the villager and stuff pranking Donald and kind of hiding in a bush and not getting caught. This time Donald has caught you, and I think that's hilarious. Brilliant, brilliant job. Love this creative take on the challenge, and I really like this angle from behind the character looking over towards Donald, and he does not look impressed one bit. He is not happy to be the subject of your guys' pranks, and I just think that's fun and creative. And next up we have the self-care witch, who is playing monsters with Stitch. This is very, very funny. So this is very reminiscent of the scene in Lilo and Stitch where they set up the toy city, basically this, and then Stitch goes on a rampage destroying everything. And I like this fun, playful vibe and this creativity that you've put together with this snap to not only pay homage to the scene in the movie, but also just creatively and harmlessly do a prank with Stitch that doesn't actually affect anyone. Instead, you are just letting out your badness level, let's just say, just to enjoy yourselves and have fun, which is very creative. And next up we have a submission from Fora, and you are absolutely right. Donald is having a hard time this week. He has been the subject of a lot of pranking. Poor Donald. And you are no exception to this. You have pranked Donald with Stitch with lots of smelly, dirty socks, which I think is just fantastic and hilarious. I think this is a really fun and creative prank. I like that you've posed with the raccoon here because it almost looks like you're high-fiving the raccoon. I think that is technically the animation, is a little high five, but it looks like you kind of like high five, that was a success, we did brilliantly. You, the raccoon and Stitch have really stitched up Donald. Oh, that was hilarious. That was a funny pun. Stitched up Donald because of Stitch. Okay, I'm sorry. I can't help it. I crack myself up, all right. I've got I've got to laugh at myself because who else is going to? But no, this is wonderful, very creative. Next up, we have a submission from Princess Star Butterfly, who has used the glitch where you can get multiple characters in the game. Now, this is basically just a glitch that happens when you like, I think you have to change like outfits of a character. I'm not quite sure how it works. I'm pretty sure Nolan went over it before. I think we covered it in a previous Dreamsnap review video from quite a while back. But yeah, you can basically multiply characters if they have different skins. That's the only way you can do it. Like, you couldn't do it on a character that didn't have another like skin. I'm trying to think of someone who doesn't have one. Like Gaston, for instance. You couldn't make multiple Gastons, but you can make multiple Stitches, as is the case here. And I feel like that is the biggest April Fool's prank. That really pranks everyone, because who wants multiple Stitches? Not me. But I love it. But I really like how you've kind of introduced this background to it as well. So in the background here, we've got like multiple buzz suits. We have the little Stitch statues here. We've almost got like a science lab vibe going on. And you can imagine that is what has created this terrible situation where there is now 3 Stitches, and I'm just glad it's in your valley and not mine. And next up we have a submission from Nina here, and this is hilarious. So it looks like Sully and Beast are about to be put face to face with their alter egos, let's say. It looks like you have stitched Sully and Beast up with alternative versions of them. You've creatively created this Beast sculpture and Sully sculpture, which I just think is hilarious. And I can just imagine Sully and Beast's reaction to seeing the alternative versions of themselves. I think this is so funny. It's very, very creative of a snap. I like that you've got yourself and Stitch here looking on, waiting for the big reveal. And I think this is a very fun and creative take on the challenge. It's a take that I haven't seen before, and I think it's wonderfully creative. I think this is hilarious. So fantastic effort on this snap. And next up we have a submission from Lightspark, who has put together a tunnel of fools. This is quite funny how you've trapped everyone in this tunnel together. I'm sure everyone is very, very happy to be trapped in this tiny space with Donald. And I'm sure no one's going to have any complaints about that, especially when Donald starts getting angry. This is a funny and creative take on the challenge. It's also kind of trippy in a sense, like to see all these like repeated arches going through is just a bit like whoa on the eyes kind of thing. But this is quite funny to see and a very unique take on this challenge. And next up we have another submission from Pickle Me Elmo. I didn't realise, I should have noticed before, the first submission that we looked at was actually Pickle Me Elmo's second account. This is the main account. And this is quite funny how you have pranked Hades here with all this chaos. I like how you've dressed your character up as Maleficent, especially because of the current storyline in Storybook Vale. Obviously, we have the rift between Hades and Maleficent, so I love that you've playfully lent into that, and I just think that's hilarious. We have all the little demons here, which I can imagine are causing chaos with Stitch too. We've got snotty tissues, we've got dirty socks, we've got like lava, we've got dragons and fire monsters and things like that. I'm pretty sure Hades is not impressed in the slightest with this prank that Maleficent and Stitch have cooked up. And next up we have a submission from Talon here, and I think this is hilarious. So your character is here hiding behind the crates. You've set up a trap here to catch a duck, but sadly it looks like we've caught the wrong duck. I love how there's this trail of gems leading from Scrooge's to the trap. We do also have Scrooge in the background here, so it looks like Scrooge was a little bit too late and Donald got there first and fell into the trap. And I just think that's hilarious. I love it. I love that there's this storytelling in here. You can clearly see a trap has been set for Scrooge, but Donald's greedy ways have got him into trouble. And it's hilarious. And I like how you've set up this trap. Like we've got the what do you call this, like the trellises, then we've got the like the fish lure kind of trap thing. I think this is used against Scar with Vanellope's quest line. I think, if I remember correctly. Obviously, you've got all the gems leading to the trap. We have Donald face planting the floor, which I think is hilarious. It's nice to see Donald in kind of like a different position from the usual angry faces. Like, again, just creatively taking an idea and doing something different with it. You know, a lot of people have used Donald, but it's nice to see Donald used in like a different way, if that makes sense. But I love this. As soon as you posted this, this was like one of the first snaps that got posted, one of the earlier ones. And I just knew this was hilarious and I loved it. Of course, the little touch of Scrooge in the background and your character hiding behind the crates here so you can look on at your trap is just hilarious. And next up, we have a submission from IO Moonlight, who has flower bombed this bedroom. I think it's very creative that you have done this snap in the Monsters Inc. realm, so you can access these bedrooms as part of the storyline of unlocking the characters. Whilst you can't decorate in here, you can drop items, which means you can drop things like flowers and things like that. So it's quite hilarious that you have come in, you've planted all these flowers, I imagine, for some poor, unsuspecting child who will wake up and see a dozen flowers throughout their room, causing chaos and mayhem for them in the morning. I think this is fun and creative. It's very playful. It's very different. It's a unique concept and idea. And I really like it. I think it's really fun. I love how your character looks. Love the outfit you've put together. I think it works wonderfully. And yeah, this is a brilliant little snapshot. And in our last submission, which comes from Angel of Thursday, we have this snap here where you have dressed up as Roz to prank Mike. I'm sure the last thing Mike wants to see on a day-to-day basis is Roz, so making your character look like Roz is hilarious. I can just imagine Mike's frustration and annoyance at coming into the office and seeing Roz there. I think that's so funny. I love the Monsters Inc. theming. I like that you've gone creative with the choice of your character and the snap you've come up with. Obviously you've done a fantastic job replicating this Roz type look and aesthetic, which I think is absolutely brilliant. I love this. It's fun, it's playful, it's creative. It's a very, very enjoyable snap, and I think you've done absolutely amazingly with this one. Well, there you have it. That's the submissions for the April Fool's challenge. Absolutely wonderful dream snaps there in Discord. I appreciate every single one of you for sharing your submissions. It's wonderful to see the creative ways you've all done an April Fool's prank. The stories you've told and the vibes you've created are absolutely fantastic, and it's been a real joy to see. So thank you very, very much for sharing. I really, really enjoyed this. And yeah, what a fun little challenge. I'm looking forward to seeing the results of this challenge to see how we all do. I think you've pulled off some absolutely amazing pranks. So fingers crossed everyone gets the 4K that they deserve. Thank you all so, so, so much for your time today. I do really, really appreciate it. Have an absolutely wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll be sure to see you all in the next one. Bye, guys!